Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie, and we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Hey, welcome to Movie Friends. I'm here with my friend Michelle Rubenstein, who has the largest private zoo since Noah.
And I'm here with my friend Seth Vargas, who knows a lot of tricks.
I do know a lot of tricks.
I know, I still haven't seen your close-up card magic.
I got one that I can do.
Yes.
No problem.
Yep.
Works every time.
Mm-hmm.
Super simple.
Mm-hmm.
Other ones I'd have to really practice. I've been out of practice for years.
I feel like we talked about this, which is actually really funny, a year ago when we did our live show in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in the Airbnb you were talking to Anthony about this.
I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
Okay, cool. I would love to see it.
Yeah. And hey, you know who was just a Class A magician? Orson Welles.
Really?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. He met Houdini as a child.
Wow. I feel like there is so much to digest about him. And I'm sure you have. I'm sure you digested a lot this past week.
I've been 2 weeks. I started my Citizen Kane stuff early because I was like, this is a big one.
Yeah.
And hey, it is a big one. This is our 300th episode.
It is. And it's a new month. So happy June, friends.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah.
Wild
Podcasting
stuff.
is so weird. You're always living in the future somehow.
I know.
Yeah. It's June. We're here. The beginning of the end of halfway through the year.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
6 months till Christmas, right?
That was like that whole, you and I both lived through the year 2000 isn't the new millennium, the year 2001 is. And I was like, come on. The numbers are going from 1 to 2. That's the cool part, okay?
Yeah, right.
Nerds. Other than that, what's going on?
Well, last Friday, I got my color analysis done to figure out my color season.
Stop.
I'm
Wait,
a light spring and can borrow from soft autumns.
You have to talk to me as if you're talking to a fool.
Okay.
What does this mean?
Have you ever seen videos on Instagram Reels?
Yes.
Maybe you haven't. I don't know what your algorithm's like, but of people sitting in a chair with kind of like they're getting their hair done like a cape. Stay with me here. Their hair is pulled back and there's just fabrics of color, and they're going through fabrics of color and they're seeing which palette works best with their skin tone. Have you ever seen any of this?
No, but it makes perfect sense, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've always been curious about it, and I've always wanted to get it done in person versus doing it virtually because I feel like I would get a bad read doing it virtually. So I went in person and I got my color analysis done. It's amazing.
Okay, so what is your what's a good color?
Well, I'm a light spring, so I could do soft colors, pastels.
You're saying that as if I'm going to be like, of course, fuchsia.
I'm just telling you what it is. I mean, what's cool about it, because I'm still like digesting all of it, is it kind of takes a lot of the guessing out. And really it makes sense. Like, have you ever, maybe you haven't, but now you're into fashion because of Devil Wears Prada too. But certainly in your history of getting dressed, have you ever noticed that if you wear a certain color, sometimes it doesn't look the best on you versus another color? Have you ever noticed this?
I mean, I would say that I couldn't pull off an orange shirt.
Okay.
But that might just be me.
Yeah, maybe that was a poor example, but it's essentially like wearing the colors that work best for your skin tone and your
Well, you know what I
undertone.
always noticed that and this is a touchy subject, but I always notice that with hair color.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of people dye your hair, okay? Go crazy.
Yeah.
Pink, blue, whatever.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it's like when you get older, your natural hair looks natural, but then the
Right.
color of your hair, it looks like you took someone else's head and put it on your head.
Yeah. And it might just be like the wrong shade of that color
Right,
for you.
exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like that, but with clothes. So did you go home and like throw out, you were like, no more
No.
Azul.
No. No, but, and I've already known this because I have a lot of black tops. Like black pants, right? Are fine, but it's like the fabrics that are closest to your face, like black washes me out. And I know that. But so I have to just wear
Whoa.
like a softer black, like a charcoal. And instead of like a stark white, I
What's a
would
softer black?
like a charcoal or like a
Gray.
dark gray. Yeah. Or so
Yeah.
like instead of wearing a stark white color, I would wear an off-white. I don't know why I'm telling you this or talking to you about this because you're just laughing. So
No, I'm not
anyway.
laughing at the idea. I think that
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm
Yeah.
laughing at the idea of like going to a store and being like, do you have a black that's just a little softer black?
But see, like to me, it makes perfect sense, and
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense.
That's like the Spinal
Anyway.
Tap bit when they get their records and it's all black. And
Oh,
Nigel's
gosh.
like, it's like, how much more black can it be? And it's like, none more black. Okay, all right. So, but are you like consciously, you're like, this is me. I'm no more black tops.
No, I mean, I'm not going to get rid of what I have, right? But when I do go to purchase more, I'm going to be more conscious of it. And it was cool because you're given a guide of your season, and it includes like hair color recommendations, makeup shades recommendations. Like it makes total sense. And I was able to film the whole thing, so I have been referring
Oh,
back to the
wow.
video, and yeah,
Wow.
it's very cool.
Can we see a snippet?
No.
Can I see a snippet?
Maybe no, probably not.
Oh, please.
No.
I want to see the color thing. Come on.
It's like you never
You're
look,
locking me out, man.
You never feel oh, and you're just like,
Oh,
and
are you feeling vulnerable with a brown swath going across your face?
No. It's just like, you're in the cape and your hair is back, you have no glasses or makeup on, like you just feel like a thumb. So
I mean, do you see me right now? I literally
it's so different,
shaved my head
Seth.
down to the skin.
I
If I took these glasses off, I would fade
Stop
into
it.
the background.
Stop. Well,
there is no definition to this blob of a face.
On that note, last night we met to talk about our movie, and you said it was time for a haircut, and so I see the haircut has taken place.
I shaved it, man. I'm done.
Do you use an electric razor or do you foam up?
No. Well, so I have a hand. It's a little hand thing. It's called like a pit dog.
Oh.
It's not a pit bull, I don't think.
But it's a pit dog.
A dog bite. I don't know what it's called, but you like go all around your head and shave it off, and you can do it like in the shower or you can do it dry, and it like sucks it all into the thing so you don't have like a lot of residue. But then you go in the shower and you see it's like, wow.
Does it hurt?
No. But like I could like probably sit if my hair was short enough, I could probably like sit in the parking lot, shave my head, run into the grocery store, buy a rotisserie chicken. Nobody would know. The perfect crime.
Wow. I mean, it's short. Like it's
gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. And this is like, honestly, this is how I should be all the time. It's just I don't cut my hair. I cut my own hair because it's like I'm gonna go to the barber for taking it all off.
Right. You have your
so since I'm the one cutting my hair, it kind of just comes to like I should really cut my hair. And usually it comes to I'm watching reels of our show on Instagram and I'm like, the beard is getting too long. You can literally, listeners, if you go to our Instagram and just slowly scroll down, you can see the beard and hair go cresting like a wave and then going away and then going like it's like clockwork.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's winter Seth and summer Seth.
Right. So this is summer Seth.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah. Hey, did we get any emails?
I'm supposed to ask that, Seth.
All right, go for it.
Well, now. Hey, did we get any emails?
We did.
Email.
We got an email that I'm so excited. Okay. Listeners, a little bit of background story. Somewhere around Donnie Darko, Michelle and I theorized about what an Ebert jingle would be like. And I can't remember if we asked people to send stuff in or not.
We did one. We workshopped one live for our listeners to hear how we
Right.
work. And then we're like, hey, you guys should send us your Ebert songs. And we did receive one from Betsy.
Yes.
Which was great.
Yes. And our best friend, Betsy, our
She's
Betsy friend, Betsy.
Our Betsy best friend, Betsy.
Our Betsy best friend.
Yeah.
She sent us one that we've been using, and we got another one.
So exciting.
So I'm going to read this email. I'm not going to play the jingle right now, folks, because we're going to hear it later on in the episode. But I just want to remind you, send us your Ebert jingle. We will play it on the show, and we will love it. Okay. So the email subject line is Ebert theme. Hi, Seth and Michelle. While I have zero musical talent, I still felt compelled to submit an Ebert theme for you to use on the pod. It's the best I could do. I hope it's usable. I've really been enjoying the movie choices on the podcast. Not having to adhere to a strict theme has been a lot of fun, as it allows for a lot of interesting and varied movie choices. The tattoo competition and the updates on your movie production have also been highlights for me. I'm a proud Movie Friends Patreon member, and I hope that others sign up to help fund your creative efforts. It's the least I can do. He's saying it's the best he can do. It's the least. Come on. Please. This is the most, right?
Seriously. Yes. Yes.
I'm very happy that I met you both through the wonders of the internet. And while I've never met either of you in person, I still consider you both more than acquaintances. I'm very much looking forward to the future podcast related to the OC Season 4, and I hope I get to participate alongside you both again soon. Talk to you soon, Dan. And this is our friend and patron and all-around cool dude that we call Fan Named Dan because his Instagram handle is Fan Named Dan. And he sent, like I said, he sent his... Should I play it now or should we wait?
I mean, I think we should wait. You know, this is like a little teaser, something to get excited about.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
But anyway, thank you, Dan. Thank you for all the kind words. And
thank you, Dan. And your support.
And sending... Look, you got to record yourself singing and send it out for the whole world to hear.
Amazing.
This is huge.
Felt compelled.
Compelled. I liked that word, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Wow. Hey, if you feel compelled to send us an email, specifically one with you singing an Ebert jingle, please do so. moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, Dan. All right, folks, listen. This is it, okay? This is the last episode we're ever doing.
Yep.
300 movies from The Godfather to Citizen Kane.
I think it's pretty good. We should just close the book.
Yeah. Sorry for all the nice things you just said, Dan, but we're done.
Well, no, we're still going to make a movie. We still need your support.
Right.
We're just not going to podcast about it anymore.
Right.
That feels good, actually.
So, 300 episodes, and we've never done Citizen Kane.
Yep.
Why?
Why do we need to? Everybody has talked about it. I mean, I would have never rewatched this if you didn't make me, so.
So is everyone doing it? Does that make it a...
You know what? I'm going to take back everyone's doing it because I actually don't know if everybody's doing it because I don't really listen to film podcasts. Perhaps everybody is not doing it, but I don't know, Seth. You tell me. You're the curator and in charge of us, so you tell me why we haven't done it.
There's a lot of other movies to do. I mean, we got to talk about
Right.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
The Mask.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh my God.
The Greats.
That's right. Truly the greats. But this year, like Dan mentioned in his email, we're not doing themes, and we're kind of trying to, brush up on some of the movies that it's like, it's kind of surprising we haven't done this yet so far. So we're talking about Citizen Kane from 1941. This is directed by Orson Welles, written by Herman J. Mankiewicz and Orson Welles, edited by Robert Wise, cinematography by Greg Toland, composed by Bernard Herrmann, costume design by Edward Stevenson. Starring Orson Welles, Joseph Cotton, Dorothy Comingore, Agnes Moorehead, Roy Collins, and George Coulouris. This movie was made for around $840,000. The box office is a little hard to tell, only because it's been so many years. It's been re-released. Initial run numbers, they didn't really advertise them as much as they do now back then. But what I was able to find, several places said that they lost about $150,000.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't a complete and total bomb, but they did lose money. And this was filmed for 82 days from June to October. Michelle, you want to grab your sled and read our summary?
Charles Foster Kane is dead. As the newspaper world rushes to eulogize one of its most important figures, one outlet stops the presses in order to get the real scoop. Jerry Thompson is tasked with finding out not just what the man did, but who he was, and the angle on the story? Deciphering Kane's final words, Rosebud. Jerry sets out on a journey to interview ex-wives, enemies, and old friends, putting together a jigsaw puzzle that may never end because a piece will always be missing. The problem is, he's talking to the ghost of two men. First, Charles Foster Kane, millionaire newspaper man of his own making, and second, the abandoned Kane, the everyday American Kane, the Citizen Kane.
So I haven't seen this in a while. If you had told me that this movie was just under 2 hours, I don't think I would have believed you. And then I rewatched it and I was like, this is actually super light on its feet. It moves really fast. I didn't find it that hard to follow. I don't know what was going through my head the first time I watched it, that I was like, this is a huge movie. But this time around, I was like, this is actually really, really simple. And I know that you had seen it before. So what was your experience watching it, if you remember, the first time and then coming back to it?
Yeah, so the last time I watched this, the only time I watched it was in school, 2009. It was a Monday night. And that was when my film class was, Monday nights watching movies. And I just remember being incredibly bored and just couldn't wait for it to end as I ate my Nature Valley bar. But I will never forget the ending. And so the ending has literally been burned into my memory. And so I was really curious upon this watch how I would feel. So much time has passed. Will I remember anything? And same feeling again, like so incredibly bored. But at the same time, the fact that I remember that ending is surprising to me. And what I'm conflicted is like, I can recognize that we're doing some things here in this movie. Like, I feel we are experimental. It looks great. I think Orson Welles is a really interesting person. I think the subject of the movie is interesting. And yet I kept drifting and having to like pull myself back. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel like it's 2009 again. I was just so bored. And I never say bored. It just, I was like, I can't wait for this to end.
Wow. Did you have a Nature Valley bar with you this time?
I didn't. I should have, though,
See,
for old
that's the
time's
problem.
sake. I know.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
is
what
it though?
gets you
Because I had the same feeling. that was my Monday night film snack. I would go to the vending machine and I would sit in the back, eat my Nature Valley bar, and I watched all the movies with eating my bar.
Wow, not even a bar from home.
No. Nope.
A vending machine bar.
A vending machine Nature Valley bar.
Okay, so everything that I just said, do you disagree with? That like it's easy to follow and like are you
No.
getting kind of lost in the sauce? Yeah.
Not at all. Like, I mean, I say that, I mean, like, I understand what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have trouble following it, you know. Or I think what's funny is like this movie is about really a myth of a person when
Yeah.
truly it's such a simple story and the meaning
Yeah.
of the story, and yet it's so built up to be this myth of the greatest movie of all time. So that's amusing. But yeah, I'm like, why am I so bored by this? Visually speaking, we're doing fun things. We got our cool shots, our fisheye lens, split diopter shot, right? Like good things are happening. I'm just like, the dialogue was just like losing me. And I also think, and I've stated this before, like we get what feels like, and I understand from narratively speaking, but we get like 10 minutes of B-roll with just exposition, which I understand is like the newspaper and it fits for the story. But I'm like, I'm lost here and I'm having a hard time focusing on what you're giving me because then we're just going to see everything play out.
Yes. I
I'm
had
not dissing
texted
it.
you.
I'm just saying, I'm like, I am just losing me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I texted you earlier today, I think. And I was like, I think I might have a Citizen Kane hot take.
Oh, yeah. Right. Well, that was mine.
So I watched this several times and I watched a Orson Welles documentary, Orson Welles Magician. I recommend it. Really,
Where
really
was
good.
that?
It's on YouTube. It's on
It
YouTube.
was on YouTube? I was looking for documentaries yesterday on him. And I started watching one and I was just like, why can't I focus on this dude? And I turned it off.
It's a very interesting and well paced and well laid out. Just like he did this thing and then he did this thing and then he did this thing where it doesn't dwell too long on anything. I also listened to a few podcasts about his time with the Gate Theatre in Ireland, and that was fascinating, fascinating. And, you know, the way that he tells the story is that he's in Ireland without any money. And so he calls the Gate Theatre and says, oh, the young Broadway star Orson Welles is in town. You should hire him. And then he goes to the theater and he's like, I'm Orson Welles. I'm a great stage actor back in America. And he thinks that they like knew that he was like, you know, faking it, but they needed actors, so they hired him anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's 16 years old on his own in Ireland, starring in stage plays. And then he spends a year doing that. And, you know, prior to this, he had been trained as a musician. He learned close-up magic. He met Harry Houdini when he was a little kid. His dad was wealthy. His mom was a musician and also an interesting character from the stories he tells about her. He travels all over the place as a kid. His parents both die, I think by the time he's 15, you know? It's a really fascinating life with a lot of like flair and color to the details. And the one detail that always is consistent is that Orson Welles is a bit of a scamp and a bit of a showman. And it kind of doesn't matter what medium he's in. He is going to kind of do it his own way. You know, he was reportedly incredibly smart, incredibly intelligent. He was drinking and smoking from the time he was a very small child, which is, folks, probably not the greatest idea. And he enters all of these industries super young. Like I said, 16 years old, starring in plays. And then he goes and he goes back home to the States and he's in Chicago, and they start doing plays, and then CBS is like, hey, your plays are doing really good. You want to do some of those plays on the radio? And he's like, yes, I do. And so they're doing creative stuff with the radio. And I think a lot of people know the War of the Worlds story. You know, the fallout from that was mostly made up and exaggerated, but he loved that and played it up. And so Hollywood is like, hey, I mean, it's the same thing that happened with radio. The radio was like, hey, your plays are doing good. You want to do radio?
Right.
And then Hollywood was like, hey, your radio's doing good. You want to come do movies? And he was like, yes, I do. You get a sense from hearing him talk and hearing people talk about him that the details are pretty loose with him. He's putting on a show wherever he is and whoever he's talking to about everything and anything. And not to say that he's like a liar necessarily. Welles made a film later in life called F for Fake that is incredible. It's really, I really recommend it. And it has to do with illusion. It has to do with film. It's like a documentary-ish practical joke. I don't know how to categorize it. Like it's a pretty unique experience. And so I always knew of Citizen Kane as being based on Hearst, the newspaper dude, right? And all that's true too. That's all part of it. But learning more about Orson Welles, I was like, no, like Welles is Kane, like literally. I think, okay, the first thing that we hear Kane say beyond Rosebud is, don't believe everything you hear on the radio, which is what most people who are going to see Citizen Kane would have known Orson Welles from. And then after another long series of events, when after the sequence with Thatcher like reading the newspaper, where Kane has just devoted the newspaper to making him look bad over again, we get Kane's second first line of the movie, and now it's back in time when he's young. And he says, I don't know how to run a newspaper, Mr. Thatcher. I just try everything I think of. Which is the exact same attitude that he brought to directing this movie. He says the first day that I was on a movie set was my first day directing a movie. And he also said many times, Citizen Kane was groundbreaking because I didn't know what I couldn't do. I didn't know what to do and what you couldn't do.
And talk about being so green and going for it. Also having a great cinematographer.
Absolutely.
Who can help you execute what you're going for.
Yeah. Who, according to Welles, approached him to make the movie.
Yeah.
And said, I want to work with you because you've never made a movie. And you don't know what you can't do. And there's things that I want to do, and I've been told I can't do them. And again, with Welles, did that happen? Did it happen like that? Was it worded like that? Or is it the better story?
Right.
And so Citizen Kane really becomes about multiple people. And I think that that's why Welles, to me, makes Kane a sympathetic character. So for you, you're watching this. Are you sympathizing with him, or are you like, this guy sucks, get him out of here?
No, I am sympathizing with him because really, I mean, this is exaggerating, but not really, like ripped from his home life, ripped from his mother, ripped from that love. And so we see what that effect does and how that plays out on a person's life.
Yeah. The extreme, I would say, devotion to his mom that we see in only little ways. It's very subtle. I don't think that this movie is subtle at all. The movie starts with the ending, Rosebud. You don't even really have a lot of time to question what Rosebud is, because then you get a newsreel. News on the march of his entire life.
Yep.
Then as soon as that newsreel ends, they say, hey, wait a minute, let's go back to that Rosebud thing.
Right.
What was that? And
Right.
so it's like, you know who this person is. You know all the events of his life. The movie tells you what the goal of the movie is, which is to find out what this is. And then we go back and the people tell the story again, different, obviously, because now we're getting the personal experience of everyone. And then in the end, our secondary main character, I suppose, Jerry Thompson, the reporter who wasn't there, you know.
He's on the mission.
Right. But he's so in the background, you know what I mean? Like we don't spend a moment with Jerry's interior life. Nothing. He doesn't leave that newsreel room and like call his mom and be like, "This is my big break." Or, you know, nothing. He is just an agent to go around and hear the story. But at the end of the movie, our secondary character then explains the point of the whole thing. In the newsreel room, the guy in charge says, Rosebud, it'll probably turn out to be something simple. And then it is.
Yeah.
And the movie tells you why Kane is the way that he is. The movie tells you why everything happened the way that it happened. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, I want to be super clear. I think that you and I both respect this film on like a technical level, and we know all of the innovations and spirit behind what they were doing here, and that's great. It was just shocking to me, like really trying to immerse myself in the movie and finding it not that difficult to do so.
Yeah, and I'm also curious too, like if you don't know the ending, do you feel that way, or do you catch on to that, right? Because you're figuring out in real time. Watching it this time around, like, yes, I said I was very bored, but I was like, oh, like, and maybe that's why it was so, so simple to me. Like everything, I'm like, oh my God, they spell it out, literally out for you. Like,
Yeah,
it is pretty,
yeah,
it's pretty obvious and clear, and not in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way. And you bring up a good point. We're talking as people who, you know, the ending. And if you pay attention in pop culture, you're probably going to see this ending done in a bunch of different ways. But like you said, they literally spell it out. Like the sleigh says it as it's burning.
Yeah.
So they don't even trust you enough to see all of this dude's wealth. And then the final shot be a sled that's burning. And it would dawn on you to be like, oh my God, that's what it was.
Right.
So the image isn't enough. We are literally told what it is. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I was shocked. I think a lot of times when we talk about movies, you know, like we were joking before, like, oh, we had to talk about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes before getting to this important movie. And I think maybe sometimes we can think that they're like hard nuts to crack. And this is not. I think that Citizen Kane is the most open nut. It's like a pistachio.
Sometimes they're hard though. Just depends.
Yeah, but like when you get walnuts generally aren't peeking out.
Difficult.
Yeah. A pistachio is like, come on.
I'm ready.
I'm halfway there. Yeah. What's your favorite nut?
I do love pistachios. I also love cashews.
I'm less big on cashews. Too waxy.
Oh.
You know what I mean? The texture, not nutty enough for me.
Very creamy. Very creamy.
Yeah. Very creamy. I don't like that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
What's your nut?
My favorite nut. You want to guess? We haven't mentioned it yet.
Macadamia?
Hazelnut.
Wow. I see that. You feel hazelnut to me.
Hazelnut, favorite nut. So expensive. You know what I mean?
I mean, truly.
I can't afford nuts. Can you?
Yes. I eat them all the time. Now you got me thinking, like, if we were nuts, what nut would we be? I think you would be a hazelnut.
I look like one.
Oh. Do you think I'm a cashew?
Yeah, bendy, curvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Glad we got this out of the way.
Okay, I mentioned the subtle ways in which Kane, when he's outside, the Union forever, yelling in the storm,
Mm-hmm.
his mom yells out to him in that great shot, put your scarf on. And the boy complies. He doesn't stop and do it. Just as he's running, he whips it over his neck. And then we move on. We don't spend any time on it. It's choreographed perfectly. It's subtle. And then later on, when they're introducing him to Thatcher, he starts to act up. Or, I shouldn't even say act up. He starts to respond to a child being sent away from his parents. And his mom says, Charlie or Charles, and he just stops and turns around to her and he's like, yes, mother. Clearly, a little boy who loves his mom, which who doesn't?
Right.
What I noticed this time was first he runs back for her. Then he turns around and starts to run away again. Then he turns around and dives for the sled. And then the next thing we see is them buying him another sled. And he's like, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And so it sets up this whole thing of I don't care about being rich. I don't care about the money. I just want to be this person that I want to be. And that was another thing that surprised me was Kane he's a scoundrel and a scamp, I think, from the beginning.
Yeah.
But he's very seriously I have to report on this news story, even though I have 856,000 shares in it, because it's the truth and I have to tell the truth.
Right.
To, the ending where it's not the same guy.
Right.
So, okay. Orson Welles, writer, director, actor, 25 doing this movie.
Yeah.
Playing up to 70 years old. Did you have a favorite Kane age?
Probably when he was the youngest. But I was impressed with the aging up makeup.
Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty good. Not that I was looking for it to look bad, but at the end, I wish I could remember how I can describe this rather. But you kind of see the side of his face and cheek, and then I feel like you can see the makeup kind of coming up, which I didn't even hold. I don't want to pick this movie apart, but I'm saying until that point, I was like, this looks pretty good. This looks
pretty
really good. Yeah.
He looks insane on the balcony with Hitler.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't remember that either. Oof.
I don't remember Hitler being in this.
Yeah.
What's going on here? And then I was like, oh, wait. They didn't have the technology to impose Wells into a shot with Hitler. So they had to pay someone to be Hitler.
Yeah.
And this was before the U.S. entered the war.
Right.
I wonder what happened to that guy.
Well.
Did he get a lot more work?
Eek. I mean,
was he showing up and being I was Hitler before everybody else was Hitler, okay?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I was Hitler in Citizen Kane, so.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree that the makeup does look good. I don't think it's, what we would consider to be seamless, but I don't know that makeup ever is.
You're right. And also, again, this is 1940 when this is being filmed, right? So 1941 comes out. Mm-hmm. I'm impressed. This looks good. We're not CGIing, there's no digital makeup happening here.
Right.
I think it looks good practically.
And I think he does a good job of changing his voice as time goes on.
He does.
That young Kane, I lost $1 million this year. I expect to lose $1 million next year. At this rate, I'll have to stop in 65 years or whatever. That sounds like Orson Welles more. And then as he gets older and older, it's more like Welles doing a voice. And so he's really employing as many different tricks as he can. And one thing I was really impressed with is their use of sound, because when he goes to Hollywood, he brings as many people as he can with him, including Herman J. Mankiewicz. Mankiewicz had worked with him. It's not like Mankiewicz was like the greatest writer in Hollywood. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh my God, oh, I can have anybody. Oh yeah, get me, this guy. And that's not to say that he wasn't.
Is Herman the father of Joe?
Herman and Joe are brothers.
They're brothers. Okay. Right.
Yeah,
Because we
they're
talked
brothers.
about Joe on Cleopatra.
Joe on Cleopatra. Yeah.
How could we ever forget about
Yeah.
what he endured?
A movie that I think deserves, and I think people give it the respect it deserves, but people talk about, the behind the scenes of Citizen Kane and the making of it and the story. I got to tell you, Cleopatra, I think, blows it out of the water.
I think
not even close.
Maybe we haven't covered a movie yet to that size in terms of like the backstory of it, but like Cleopatra's just like on another level. We say it all the time, but nothing compares that we've touched.
No.
Nothing compares.
Yeah. Hey, if you haven't checked out our episode on 1964's Cleopatra, do it. And then don't stop there. Keep going and learn more about it. It is incredibly fascinating.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mankiewicz had worked with Welles before. And so a lot of the stuff that I consumed the last 2 weeks, right, leading up to doing this episode, people talk about, oh, Welles, he could do whatever he wanted. He had the run of the place. He kept turning down contracts to get better ones and more power and more power. And Welles himself said, I didn't want money. I wanted control. And that's what I kept going for until I had 100% complete control, which is what he got. And then, the studio was like, we're never going to do that again. But he didn't just blow into town and leave all his friends and say, hire me the best of this and this and this. He's bringing people onto the movie who've never acted in a film before.
Right. I did like the end credits where it's like introducing the stage actor. I thought that was very well done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's very good. And I mean, it's all good. It all worked out.
It all
worked
good.
out.
It all is very good.
But I was just surprised of like, Orson was so smart and he had all the power and he still relied on the people he knew and could trust. And that really spoke volumes to me about him as a person. Maybe he was just a really great guy, but I think he needed his group of people to kind of go on this venture with him.
That's what I would do.
That's what I would do too.
If I was given, go ahead. You got all. I'd be like, Seth, I need you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh my,
no one knows me better, right? We got to do this. I need your trusted circle.
Yeah. And like I said, I think part of that is, the goodness of your heart. But I think part of it is not necessarily a bad thing, is insecurity. And when I think about Orson Welles,
it's
I don't think about.
It's not good at heart. It's insecurity.
Yeah.
Let me be clear here.
Yeah. Welles, I think, has such this larger than life force to the mythology of him as a person.
Yeah.
But yeah, realizing that it was eye-opening. It was eye-opening to me. There's so many awesome shots in this that I want to talk about, but before we move on from Kane, how did you feel about his wives?
Well, the first one, the president's niece, I feel we didn't get much with her. However, I did very much enjoy the sequence montage of showing passing time with each wife. I really enjoyed both of those. We get more with the singer. And what was interesting with the singer Susan. We get more time with her, more backstory with her. And I'm conflicted of like, if he really loved her, or did he just need control of something, like true control with with feminine energy? He wasn't getting that with the ex.
I think a lot of people kind of hit, middle age, and they start to ponder their mortality.
Yeah.
And they try to find a younger person to kind of revitalize their life a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I love the first wife, Emily Monroe Norton Kane, played by Ruth Warrick.
Mm-hmm.
There is, again, talking about like that subtle devotion that Kane had to his mom. In the scene where she's like, "Oh, you want to come with me?" He's like, "Where are you going?" And then she names the address of Susan Alexander. And he's just like, "Yeah, I'll come with you."
Mm-hmm.
And, they walk up the stairs together. And she is on fire in this sequence. Like, she is so in control. And, he is like, "Geddes, I'm gonna kill you." Great name for a, not a villain, but, a rival.
Yeah.
Geddes.
Geddes.
And he's like straight up just like, "Yeah, I'm not going back with you." You can see how much she is controlling him. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I don't mean that in like in a negative way for her. Like, it seems like she's the only person who can do, like, no one can wrangle this guy in.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote a song about him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's kind of like the only scene in the movie where adult Kane is like totally powerless. And I love that. I love, like, oh my gosh, yeah, like if you had that opportunity, like your spouse was cheating on you and you were like, well, this is how I'm going to do it,
Totally. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. I love that scene so much. Okay, the song and dance number. Did you expect a song and dance number in the middle of Citizen Kane?
I didn't. And again, I forgot that this occurred.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, what are we doing? Wow. Okay. You get to dance. Good for you, Orson. Little choreography here.
Mm-hmm.
Fun camera angles of reaction shots.
Yeah, this time around, I was like, because I always thought that scene was just kind of funny and like, wow, this is so weird and odd.
Yeah.
But as this song and dance number is about to happen, he's literally talking about like instigating war with the power of their newspaper. And it was so bone chilling this time around with our current political and technological leaders who will just say things like that and do. I remember there's the famous clip of George Bush, when he's talking and then he says, "All right, now watch this drive." And then he goes and hits a golf ball. And it's just so odd and crazy. And that's exactly what this is like. It's like,
Totally.
It's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll start a war tomorrow. Now I'm going to go dance with these lady, and everyone's like happy. And, and it's like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, it feels like they're in a trance.
Totally evil. But I love it though. I love the song. I think it's very funny. I don't have many aspirations for my life. I don't want to win an award. I don't want a big house. I think that this would be like the height of my life.
A song and dance number?
Okay, listen.
Or starting a war.
No. Imagine you're at a party for yourself, and then a marching band comes out, and you're like, pretty good. Wow. Okay. And then a little man in a straw hat comes out with 2 lines of women on either, like showgirls on either side of him, and they start singing a song about you, and everyone is like singing the song with them. Would
This
that
is
not
what
be
you want.
I'm asking you. You wouldn't be amazed?
I would be amazed, but I don't want that.
I think that's all I want in life now.
Noted. I'll start planning your 40th birthday right now.
Just a little guy in a straw hat.
Just a little song and dance with showgirls.
Is that really too much to ask?
I don't think so.
No. Susan Alexander, opera singer, not quite. How do you feel about this whole, can she sing, what's the story?
Okay. I don't think she's a bad singer. You know, I just kept thinking of Singing in the Rain.
Of course.
Right? I'm like, if she was a bad singer, can it sound bad? Or do I not know what bad sounds like?
Right.
Does that make sense?
At first it didn't, but then it did.
She's not bad enough for me. But then again, like, I'm not in the world of it. As a viewer, the casual peanut-sized brain viewer, Michelle, right?
Cashew brain,
but maybe the brain's the size of a peanut once it's deshelled. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, she's not that bad.
Right. And like every week we find a new area of life that you and I know nothing about.
But
I don't know nothing about opera.
Nothing, but like we know what hurts our ears. We know we could probably say something's off key. I mean, maybe she was. I don't know. Every time she sung, I'm like,
oh, if she was off key, I couldn't tell that.
Well, right, but I mean, I'm saying like I just don't think she sounded as bad as they were making her out to be.
Yeah, I mean the way she's. Oh, and then you know the write up says, thankfully, I don't have to judge her singing. I'm here to talk about her acting, which is also really horrible. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I just need to go see more operas, but
I guess so.
To me, I'd be like, lady standing there with a big headpiece on, belting at the top of her lungs. It's pretty good to me.
Sounds good.
So Kane is like undone by this non-accepting, and like we know everything that he does is for love, right? It's Leland who says that he did everything for love, and he even went and ran for governor because our love and devotion wasn't enough. He had to go off and be something else, which I think is also kind of a parallel with Welles. I mean, this is, you know, Joseph Cotton, and they had worked together, and it was like, you know, is being the youngest, hottest play director in the country and now a radio star not enough?
Right.
Now you need all the love of Hollywood too, and everyone who's going to see the movies.
Right.
It's like he can't fathom that this thing that he loves is like just completely ignored and abandoned by the world. And that's the end of the movie, that like all of his wealth is boxed up and they're like figuring out how to sell it and ship it. And it's all the stuff, the loot of the world, we're told. And then the only thing in his life that mattered to him in the end, the sled, they're like, just burn that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was just like, oh, piece of junk. Just, yeah.
So it's like, you can't force people to love the things that you love and the things that you care about. And it's all that you have. And reminded me of the lyrics from, I can't remember if it's Jenny Lewis or Rilo Kiley, but you are what you love and not what loves you back. It's like, oh God. I was having some real difficulties going through this story.
I get it.
The last few weeks, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The question at the beginning of the movie, can you know a person by the things that they've done? Or do you have to really get at who they are? And how do you know who they are? Well, his deathbed, right? You reveal who you are on your deathbed. And he revealed who he was on his deathbed, and no one cares. Like, even the guy who set out to figure it out And the end is just like, it doesn't matter what it is.
Well, right, but also got nowhere.
Right. I mean, yeah,
After
he did.
talking to everyone,
he did
try. He talked to everyone who he thought would know Kane best and the most. And then to get to nobody knows what Rosebud means or stands for.
Right.
At some point, you're just like, I got to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Next story.
And, he says, he's like, I don't think one word can sum up a life. And nobody knew what Rosebud was because Kane didn't share that part of himself.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I don't think Kane I think he faced difficulties with the feeling of childhood, right? From being ripped apart from his family and that memory of sledding outside with his favorite sled, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this memory came to him until later with the snow globe, and that memory transported him back to truly a happy, pure memory.
Mm-hmm. And he's holding the snow globe too.
Right. And so looking at that reminded him of my mother, the snow, the day my life changed, what it was like before then. Rosebud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's also the snow globe that stops him when he destroys that room.
Right.
Which I do think, not to get too irreverent, is one of the funniest scenes in the movie. Because it's 25-year-old Orson Welles pretending to be 65-year-old Charles Foster Kane slowly ripping apart a room.
Yeah. Well.
And then he sees the snow globe and he stops.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the conclusion that Jerry Thompson comes to, I think it might be correct in real life, but in the world of the movie is saying, no, you can define a person with one word. It is all about this. And you all have completely missed it. No one gets to know Charles Foster Kane except for us. And we're not real in his world. We can't love him. We can't know him. We can't understand him.
Right.
And so it's like a massive tragedy. And I think that Wells is showing Wells and Mankiewicz and everyone, who worked on it, if nothing else, don't rip a kid away from his parents.
Well, that too. And also, why does it matter? Why do you need to understand what this person was about? This person's gone. They have passed. That's it. Why? What is it to you that you have to understand how a person felt, what a person's last words were? Let's create a legend around it. It's like you're creating the thought for yourself and not for the actual person.
Right. I think it's just sad that though Kane had these lifelong relationships, he either never shared it with them or he never realized it himself.
Yeah, I think he never. Yeah, I don't know. He had a wall up, and
right.
Yeah.
Okay, if you were in Kane's position,
at what point?
I was gonna say, which we all will be.
Yeah.
You got a big bristly broom mustache.
Okay.
Peeping over the lip. Uh-huh.
Great. Look forward to that.
I mean, look, can't be hairless forever,
No, I shave my aunt's chin hairs. She's not with it, but dignity, man. Yeah. I will shave them for you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, put that in your rider.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What inanimate object are you saying?
Great question. Oh, man. It'll be like XLR cable. It's just like the bane of my existence when you have a bad cord.
XLR cable.
Yeah. No. I don't have sentimental value to that. I don't know. It's good. Obviously, you must have been thinking about this since you asked the question.
No, I wrote it down to ask you. I didn't really think about it for myself until now. And I'm thinking about when did my childhood diverge?
Well, it's funny on that. It's like, am I saying Dino, which we've talked about our childhood toys. We talked about that on Toy Story. my stuffed
Right.
animal. Maybe I would say Rosebud because that was the ultimate cheat code in The Sims. And
Oh my
I'm
God.
constantly referring back to The
Wait.
Sims and how I want to play. You
Wait.
didn't know that?
What does that mean? Ultimate cheat? How do you cheat at Sims? I've never played Sims, so you got to explain it. I'm learning a lot about color
Oh,
reading and Sims.
Cephala. Are you
I've
for
never played it.
realiest right now?
I played SimCity,
No, no.
and SimCity 2000.
Great. No one.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've never played Roller
so
Coaster Tycoon.
what? Okay.
Yeah.
You know what The Sims are, though. You know that game.
People walking around and they go like beep 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 beep.
Well, you create people and build houses and all the things, but to get more money, to get a cheat code, the cheat code was Rosebud.
Because he's so rich.
And it was like usually like Rosebud with like exclamation point and like depending on, and you would plug that in and then you would just get money, simoleons. And that was like the ultimate cheat code in The Sims. And so I'm constantly wishing for the time when I could play The Sims with my best friend. I'm constantly thinking about that time in my life. So maybe my last word would be Rosebud.
Wow. That is the most insane pattern of life to end with the same word, but in such a different reasoning.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's pretty cool. You might be the
Yeah.
only person on earth who would also. It's you and Charles Foster Kane. You're the only one saying Rosebud.
I don't know. I feel like my fellow Sims players, maybe they would also say Rosebud. Yo, send us an email if you were using Rosebud. You
Send us an
definitely, if you
email
were
no matter
playing,
what.
well, yeah, but if you were playing The Sims, you were using that cheat code.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good childhood, you know. I didn't have traumatic things happen.
Yeah.
But like where my life did really, it was like my life before and then my life after was growing up. I had a next door neighbor who was my best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and we played every day, like every single day. When she got home from school, she came over, and we stayed out until the street lights came on, and then it was like time to go home. And she was 4 years older than me. So, I was 6 and she was 10, and we were hanging out like all day, all the time. And when I got to be about 9 or 10, she moved away. And I only ever saw her one time after that because she had moved kind of far. And I went to visit her at her new house. And it was just, even at, a very young age, I was very, in tune and aware with my surroundings. And it was like, it's different. It's all
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And I don't know that she wants me here. We're kind of doing stuff that we didn't use, like we're not playing all the old games. We're not walking around the same streets. And I never went back. And she never came back over again. And it was like devastating. It was truly devastating. Like after that, I gained a bunch of weight because I stopped going outside. And so prior to that happening, I was like a super skinny kid and gained a bunch of weight. And that year we ended up moving too. And then it was like my new life began. Like I made all the new friends that I kept, through high school, middle school and high school and college, and still talk to some of them. So it was kind of even worse than just saying goodbye and never seeing her again, because I saw her again and realized that I could never go back. And to realize that when you're like
terrible.
9 is like,
Oh, it's terrible.
it's devastating.
It's terrible.
So my thing isn't as bad as most people's. Like most people will be like, my life got bad because one of my parents died or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's
something.
that. I just don't know an object to attach to that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think mine wouldn't maybe be an object. Mine would maybe just be her,
Are you ever curious about her? Like finding her as
Yeah,
an adult?
all the time. all the time. I
Oh
try
my
to find her
God.
all the time.
Oh my God. Seth, we need to submit your story to Heavyweight. We have
No.
to get Jonathan Gold. Why
No.
not?
It's too like, I'll be honest with you. Like, it's too painful. I kind of can't go back.
I think
I went
it would.
back.
I think
I
it would
went
be.
back.
No, but you not as an adult though. I think it would be cathartic. Oh my God. These are the stories I live for. This is my favorite thing. Oh my God, we got to submit it to Heavyweight.
Go for it. You can clip this episode and send it to him. But yeah. So like,
Gosh.
so again, just watching Citizen Kane and like sitting in it and like trying to like hold myself together while realizing that the things that you love don't love you back. The things that you love,
Yeah.
no one cares about. And that when you die, the only things that are left are the things that people care about.
Yep.
You can die and you leave your house and people will go through your house and they will keep stuff or they won't.
Yep.
And whether or not it meant something to you at that point is up to them.
Yeah.
Even though it's a fun and funny movie, I think it's brutal. I think it's absolutely brutal.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this a fun and funny movie.
I think it's funny.
There's some
his little
parts.
friends, you know.
Yeah, but this is not like a haha good chuckle.
I get a big kick out of, and I texted you this too, when he says, when Geddes is walking out on him, and he's like, "I'll be all right, Geddes. I'm Charles Foster Kane."
Yeah.
And I'm going to send you to Sing Sing. Sing Sing, Geddes! Which is an awesome, awesome little thing that happens there. As Geddes walks out, the note of Welles saying Sing Sing at the top of his lungs merges with the same pitch of a car horn, and the two blend together.
Yeah.
And then the car horn, it's like, it's just a nice little hand holding. You know, you and I are both in the realm of sound, right? And you know that you need sometimes little hand holding things. And so them all coming from radio, it's like perfect. Like you could maybe watch this, and I haven't done this, but maybe I will now. Could you watch this with your eyes closed?
Yeah,
Is that why there's so much exposition and literally announcers?
Totally. Absolutely.
Could you piece this together as a radio play, you know?
Sure.
Did you have a favorite? You know, this movie's known for like trick shots and innovation and stuff like that. Did you have a favorite shot or moment like that?
I love the split diopter shot when he's writing the review. I love the shot when Charles's mom is in her house and we see out the window him playing in the snow, which we talked about off mic about how that felt like a snow globe, how many scenes throughout this movie feel like an actual snow globe. Him behind a window, him behind a glass, motion happening, scenes happening outside of the frame you're focused in on. If you take a peek past it, yeah, I enjoyed those. And I noticed them this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that shot, that impossible shot that they do.
Yeah.
Which is, that's fun. I think that's, you know, I mean, it's a pretty wild topic as they're discussing, you know, handing this boy over to a bank trust.
Right.
There's another shot that I was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. When they show the photograph of all the newspaper men, that he's like, oh, I'm going to buy all these guys. And then it goes to a few years later and they hold up the photograph and like it seems like they're still holding up the photograph. And then Welles walks into frame and you realize it's not the photograph anymore, but it's those guys posing for a recreation of that photograph now that they all work for him so that he can send it to their old newspaper.
Yeah.
I was like, that is the coolest, most insane thing. And for no money.
Yeah.
It's a special, you know, it feels like a special effect, but for no money. It's just good framing and editing.
Yeah.
Yes, on the snow globe thing, yes, we see Wells, we see Kane repeatedly behind the glass, constantly behind the glass, obscured by the glass, reflected in the glass. And this time around was the first time that when they do that impossible shot and they pull away from Kane out in the snow, that I was like, oh, he's in the snow globe now.
Right.
Like, he is isolated from this moment forward. He is isolated from, his mother and all that entails, and his childhood. And now he has to grow up and live with cold, hard men who are just going to educate him and then try to get him invest in their gold mines and oil wells.
Mm-hmm.
And the first chance that he has, he's like, well, sorry, I'm not interested in gold mines and oil wells. I'm going to buy a newspaper and then I'm going to use it to get back at you.
Right.
And so, yeah, you just see, and in that moment where he breaks up with Emily, his first wife, and he's like, I'll be fine by myself. I'm going to go it alone and I'm going to do it by myself and I'll be fine. I don't need anybody. And so you see like that tragedy that turns into like poison in him. And now he's inflicting this pain on other. It's horrible. It's a horrible movie. It's a horrible story. And to think that, they're trying to tell this story of Hearst, a real life newspaper guy, and his relationship with Marion Davies. And they're not like, it's so much worse than saying, here's this guy who's evil. They're saying, here's this guy who is so like in pain and broken inside. And he is so isolated and lonely and miserable. And like, that is so much worse than just being like, Hearst is a bad guy.
Yeah. It's very raw and vulnerable.
Yes. And then just like putting it out for everyone to see. Like,
yeah.
Hi. And on that note, in the newsreel room, when they're talking about Kane, they literally name Hearst. They say, why is he any different from Ford or Hearst or John Doe for that matter? And I was like, oh my God, guys, you can't do that.
No rules, man. No rules.
But they do. Yep. No rules.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I two more thoughts. One, folks, we cannot know what a movie is. We just can't. Citizen Kane came out, doesn't do well for many reasons, kind of disappears, comes back, has a resurgence, and now has the reputation for being, one of the greatest films of all time, if not the greatest, and then is always at a minimum serious contention for greatest American film, because this is a story about America. I don't know. If you've made something and you feel that nothing happened with it or it was all for nothing, you just cannot know. You can't know what it is until it has its second life. And whether that's Citizen Kane or The Room or Showgirls, we just can't know what a movie is until later. And then the second thing is just, I think it is a good twist, and it's fun to end on a twist. It shows that I think that they're really employing showmanship, and they're not like, oh, this is a serious, refined story. No, they're using all the tricks to engage your brain. And the twist isn't that the sled is Rosebud. The twist is that the man who has everything in the world only has that matters to him. That I think is, what the twist is meant to. So when people are like, oh, it's just the sled, that's dumb. It's like, no. It's not that it's the sled. It's that he could have been saying, my elephants, or
it could have been anything.
My Egyptian statue that I stole, or anything. It could be anything, and it's not.
Yeah.
And so if you have everything, what is the one thing that you still want?
Right.
Okay, let's get into our happies and crappies.
It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies.
My happy is Orson Welles. one of the great liars of our time. God bless him. My crappy, I don't know that I really have a crappy. Like, am I gonna sit here and critique Citizen Kane? You know what I mean? Like,
Totally,
but
right? I know.
I guess what I would say is like the closest thing to a crappy that I'm shocked by, and I've said it several times now, is just the amount of exposition in this is
Yeah.
outrageous.
Yeah.
This is not a subtle movie.
Yeah.
And I think that Wells and co. could have trusted the audience and their own
Yeah.
instincts to not give us the story 3 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
My happy is the shot we spoke about of Kid Kane playing outside in the snow, looking through the window and grabbing that. My crappy is that 10-minute newsreel of B-roll exposition and then getting the story. I'm not, that's just my personal crappy.
Right. Yeah, like couldn't that reel have been like a minute? Like we
Right,
could still
because like, we
use that
get
as the
the
setup device. Yeah.
whole story. You know,
I
it's
like the feeling that we get though from going from that like really exuberant, overproduced thing, and then the lights go down and you're in a dark
yes.
room, and it's like, oh, like I'm in reality now.
Yes, I liked that too, and I wrote that down because I was like, okay, that is good. It's just like 10 minutes is I paused. I was like, we're in, I think it was 10 minutes and 47 seconds because I wrote it down and I was just like, bad start. Yeah, 10 minutes of B-roll with audio. Yeah. I was just like, I can't. And I guess another happy too is Aunt and I went to Hearst Castle. And so
Oh yeah.
them talking about Xanadu and obviously the inspiration for that brought me back to that.
Very cool. All right, well, hey, we've talked about how we feel about the movie. So now let's hear from some strangers on the internet, a segment we call half star, 3 star, 5 star. Half star, 3 star, 5 star. These are reviews from letterboxd.com, which is a website and an app where you can log, rate, and review movies. We start with a half star review, which is the lowest rating that you can give a film, and we go all the way up to a 5 star review, which is the highest rating that you can give a film. And on this show, I read the half star review in an accent or an impersonation. Do you have any requests?
Can you do Charles Foster Kane?
Yeah, I can try. Just like an old man, you know?
Well, you have to like really.
Rosebud.
No, not that. Like belt it, like we're yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, young man. When I was a journalist, we asked these questions quicker. Come on, come on. All right. This is a bad impersonation of Orson Welles as old Charles Foster Kane, but I'm going to go for it. Saw this on a films you have to see before you die list. Turns out you don't. Boredom nearly killed me. Important messages don't make films 5 stars. I made up a stereotype about old classic films are just old white men shouting in rooms. This proves it may not just be a stereotype.
It's funny.
I don't think that's true, but
I mean, I kind of agree with the first part. Like, saw this on a films you have to see before you die. Turns out you don't. I agree.
I don't agree with that because I think even if you don't like the
story. You're a film guy, though. If you're not a film guy, I don't think you have to subscribe to this list.
I think we have to do away with lists and rankings and all that. We have to move past that. It's such a stupid device to understand movies by.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but there's just too many. Like we can't understand movies anymore by saying the top 100 movies of all time.
Totally. Yeah.
We cannot do it. I think that Citizen Kane is a great movie. I do think there's a bit of a misunderstanding though. Like when this movie comes out, not a lot of people saw it. Yes, people worked on the movie. And so some of the innovations maybe were replicable, but the movie didn't make money. And so the studio wasn't happy. So it's not like they were like, let's all reproduce Citizen Kane. So it's not until, 20-ish years later when the movie's re-released, and at this time, films weren't being exported as much to Europe because Europe is going through World War, right? And so the generation of kids who grew up with the war now have access to all the American movies that they missed out on, Citizen Kane being one of them. It helps bring it to a more respected place among film lovers. So when people say like, oh, Citizen Kane changed everything, it did, but not right away. It's not like people were like, we have to do this.
Right.
And the French New Wave, all those directors who idolized Orson Welles and Alfred Hitchcock, they start implementing some of this attitude that Hitchcock and Welles had about complete control and auteur theory, where it's the director who is the person who's making the movie, just like it's the writer who's writing the novel. Yes, there's editors, but this is their thing, right? And so they, as directors, they take their own liberties and they innovate and they change things. So I do think it's important to say, like, yeah, if this movie's not for you, that's totally fine, but it is a milestone along the way.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. 3-star review says, first viewing since my initial viewing in 2017. Unfortunately, I still feel the same way now as I did then. Undeniably groundbreaking from a filmmaking standpoint, but I'm ultimately left cold by the narrative because I just cannot find myself caring. I simply do not find any of it to be compelling or emotionally resonant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
yeah.
I did find myself asking myself that. Like, I like this character, I like this story, and please, if you've never listened to our show before, don't listen to what I'm about to say, because this just paints me in not the light that I normally am. But does this story translate to an audience who doesn't know who these people are, who don't know the story of Hearst, who doesn't know everything about Orson Welles? And if you just put this in front of a person now, are they going to care about this person?
Yeah.
Why do you care about Charles Foster Kane?
Yeah. I think if anything, it'll just pull parallels to our current state of
Absolutely.
things. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I felt the same way. Like I we said earlier, like, I don't find this funny. I do find this sad, but at the same time, I just don't care. Like, I was bored, very bored.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. 5-star review says, is Citizen Kane the greatest movie of all time? Technically speaking, yes.
Mm-hmm.
From the directing to the editing to the lighting to the cinematography to the framing to the composition to the storytelling techniques to Welles' performance, what is not amazing? What is not revolutionary? What is not decades ahead of its time? And the fact that it is still just as impressive and captivating today as it was over 70 years ago is simply awe-inspiring. Nobody made movies like this back then, and quite frankly, nobody is today either. This is truly a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Okay, what did Ebert say? And now we get to debut our latest, and hopefully not last, Ebert jingle.
I gotta ask, what does Ebert think about this?
Wow. That's great.
Isn't that
amazing.
Like so different from what you were expecting?
I don't know what I was expecting, but that was fantastic.
Amazing. I love it so much.
So good.
Just a reminder, folks, you can record yourself doing a little jingle. Send it to us in an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Okay, Ebert. The section of his review that I pulled says, Citizen Kane knows the sled is not the answer. It explains what Rosebud is, but not what Rosebud means. The film's construction shows how our lives, after we're gone, survive only in the memories of others, and those memories butt up against the walls we erect and the roles we play. There is the Kane who made shadow figures with his fingers, and the Kane who hated the traction trust. The Kane who chose his mistress over his marriage and political career. The Kane who entertained millions. The Kane who died alone.
Would he rate it?
4 out of 4.
Okay, Ebes.
Just a reminder, folks, last week, Ebert gave Existenz 3 out of 4. So,
Oh
you
my
know.
God, Existence.
Existence just one step away from Citizen Kane. So we rate things as a movie, schmovie, or film. We rate it 1 through 5 stars, give our thoughts on the runtime, if we recommend it or not, and we give a shout out to whatever part of the film's practical filmmaking stood out to us. Now, before we record each episode, we write down a guess of what the other hosts will rate the film. And every time we guess correctly, we get to add a point to our tattoo tally. Whoever has the most points at the end of 2026 gets to pick a tattoo for the other host that they will then get tattooed on them without knowing what it is first. Now, last week, talk about a big week. Michelle took the lead for the first time all year. Currently has 7 points and I have 6. Michelle, what did you guess?
Yeah. Okay. So for you, I guessed 4.5 film.
Yeah, you're right on the money once again. You were in a hole and now you're out of it. Very good. Yes. 4.5 star film. I mean, look, folks. I don't even have to say it. Okay? It's Citizen Kane. It is clearly a good movie. And there's lots of fun. If you're just getting into learning about cinematography, learning about shot composition, learning about the thought that goes into movies, oh my God, this is great. You can watch it, you can pause every scene and look at how they're constructing it. You can pause every scene and look at how they're constructing the image, the shadow, all of the types of characters that are at play. It's a lot of fun. As far as practical filmmaking, I got to give it up to some of the more like trick shots. The one that I mentioned where Welles walks into what looks like a picture. It's incredible. It's close to as good as Buster Keaton walking into the screen in Sherlock Jr., which is, top 10 favorite shot of mine of all time. But there is something about, the cinematic language of walking into the frame. And I like how they play with that here.
Yeah.
And then as far as the runtime, the first time watching this might sound like a joke. I had to pause it to get up and pee. There was 15 minutes left. And I was like, there's no way. Like I would have thought maybe an hour had gone by. And I was like, this thing's almost over. And it was so close to being over that I just held my pee and finished the movie. I was like, oh, never mind. I thought I had an hour to go.
Right.
We're almost done. Okay. For you, I am guessing a 4-star film.
Very good.
Oh, wow. I did it.
Very good, Seth. Very good. Yeah, this has film written all over it. I am recommending it only if someone were to come to me and say, hey, have you ever seen Citizen Kane? I'm kind of interested in watching it. Or to piggyback off what you said, I'm kind of into cinematography. I want to learn about shots and watch a film from a technical standpoint. I say, yeah, go for it. Besides that, I'm not recommending this. The runtime was okay, I guess. I paused a couple of times and I was like, oh my God, is this over yet? And then as far as practical filmmaking, I mean, the whole thing is practical and it does look great. I think I love the use of sound and the use of echoing the sound to make rooms feel larger.
Hey, if you like playing us at a loud volume to echo through your big rooms. We'd love it if you give us a rating and review wherever you're listening. Listen, folks, reviews are like our blood, okay? We cannot work without them.
What's your blood type?
No idea.
Oh.
Literally no idea.
We're like blood buddies. I'm B positive.
Good for you.
I was just sharing. I wasn't like, this is a competition. Okay, continue your spiel. I apologize for interrupting. I'll go mute now.
Would you do a blood thing with me?
Yeah.
Like we both cut our hands and then shake?
I think so. I think you're clean.
Wow.
What?
I'm not talking about me being clean.
Same thing for me.
Well, no, I mean, that's an assumption. We're assuming. I'm talking about the pact of blood brothers
Yes. I
Blood
would do
siblings, I guess it would be.
blood siblings. Blood buds.
That's actually really funny. Blood
Yeah.
siblings. You know, you don't hear about too many people becoming blood siblings anymore.
Yeah, you put family members and then you add a line for blood siblings.
Right.
Very different than a family member. It's different.
Would that get us kicked off Instagram if we took a reel of us cutting our hands and then
Yeah, I think
shaking
so.
them?
I think that's a no-no.
That's a Patreon exclusive, I
There
think.
you go.
We'll take a video next time we're together.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh yeah.
Right.
While Michelle can be positive, I am O negative.
Maybe.
That I don't know where I'm going with this. Please just leave us a review, okay? Don't make me say this anymore. You can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about Citizen Kane. Hey, did you think we were dead wrong? Please, yell at us. Send us an email, please. Oh my God, we can take it, okay? You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. $5 a month gets you access to all of our additional episodes and shows, our patron-only Discord. You get ad-free episodes, and you get to vote on upcoming episodes once a month and quarterly themes. Oh my goodness. Like, I think next month is a theme, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not too late to get in there, folks. You want us to do all Russell Crowe movies? All movies, a body swap month?
Wow.
Parent Trap month?
Yes. Vote that, friends.
Where we just do every version of the Parent Trap?
That sounds like such a July treat. Camp,
You can make it happen at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Okay, next week's episode. This is my pick. We talked about one of the great films of all time here today, folks, Citizen Kane. And I want to keep that rolling. So next week, we're going to talk about Moulin Rouge.
Yay.
It's from 2001, directed by Baz Luhrmann. It's 128 minutes. And as of now, we do not know where it's streaming because it's going to be a new month. Michelle, have you seen Moulin Rouge?
I have, and I love the soundtrack.
Ooh, okay. All right. Will you serenade us to your version of Roxanne next week?
Oh.
Roxanne.
But I think you will.
I will sing every song for Moulin Rouge. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. My sister and I used to perform those songs in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, so good. Such a great soundtrack.
What do you think? Is this lightening up enough or is it too much?
We'll see. It's been a while since I've watched this one.
Oh, God.
I've definitely listened to the soundtrack more than I've seen this movie.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you, Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Sure. Are we here right now recording into microphones because of him?
No.
That might be a little too much credit. Yeah.
No, not for me personally, but anyway.
Thank you, Orson Welles, the inventor of the microphone and the movie. And hey, thank you folks for listening. And remember, I'm Charles Foster Kane. Till next week when we're talking about Moulin Rouge, thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.